Okay, that was hot. I'm not gonna lie, that was fucking hot. I can't lie. I can't lie, that was good. Bro, what is this? Come on, man. Like, I haven't seen. Why am I getting connections? Like, what is going on? Why am I getting connections like this in 2025? Also, as I edit this video, I have to say, I have day 3 thoughts on the beta. Oh, hell no, but I won the round. Don't tell me that's what happens when connections are bad, cause that'd piss me off.
A few minutes later.
Nigga, the Netcode! Nigga, I had to mash through that whole sequence to... No. Delay the game. Delay the game. Look at this! Look at this! Nigga, what's going on? I couldn't even see. No, I'm cool. I'm cool. Oh, I'm so scared to make this video because I don't want to sound like a hater or I'm doing it for views. I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. We need an open beta too. Hope they fix these problems. If they don't fix these problems, which is a lot of problems, I think they should just end up delaying the game. Now hold on, wait, chill out, stop. Before I go any further in this video, I have to say a couple things because a lot of y'all gonna take this out of context and let it run wild. Now again, a lot of people are overreacting about the beta in some ways because that's the point of the beta. Just because the beta is like this doesn't mean Open Beta 2 will be like this or the full game. That is the point of a beta. They're here to give us this game for us to test it and draw feedback back on it. Number 2, they also talked about that they will potentially, or there might be an Open Beta 2, so it isn't over yet. Everything could be fixed by hopefully within the next 2 to 3 weeks or month from now. Lastly, if you have issues and concerns with the beta yourself, even if I said them already, please make sure y'all go to the feedback form, fill them out, and tell them y'all want this fixed. Look, closed mouths don't get fed, and you're gonna spend your $60 on something that you're gonna be mad that they ain't get fixed. You know, like that common anime trope where they be so close to reaching their hands out and they miss because they just wasn't far enough? It's like the fucking Amazing Spider-Man 2 when he couldn't say, that's how good this game is. That's how close they are to making this game, and I don't want it to be that reality that actually happened. And that's the first thing I'm gonna talk about. The City of Wolves gameplay is amazing. I think it's so phenomenal, and it feels very homey to older fighting games. The game has a lot of mechanics, and it's all beautiful, flashy, vibrant. It is so freaking beautiful. I think it's one of the best art styles we've had in a fighting game or in this genre, and probably in the last decade outside of Arxis. That being said, earlier when I first was playing this game, I didn't like the overheat mechanic though. As time goes on, I started realizing why there's overheat, because combos and the way you use your meter and EX moves. The guard on it a little, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of like guard crushing staggering me like that. But I mean, like, even if they break your guard in other fighting games, they was gonna hit you anyway, right? A good player would optimize off of that. I think the only polarizing thing about the game right now that I will have to talk about is Rev Blow. Essentially, you have Rev Blow in this game, and it's a defensive mechanic very similar to Street Fighter's Drive Impact. It's an armored move, you knock people back, yada yada, they're cooked. Now what City of Wolves does better from my first 11 hours experience, that you have a gauge, and once that gauge is gone, you cannot use that mechanic no more in the match. But the beauty of SPG and Rev Blow is that you can customize where you want to put it in the beginning, middle, or end of your player's health bar. And I think that's beautiful in its own way, but can feel limiting depending on who you ask, because it's beautiful because you have to find new strategies and it keeps the game fresh every time you want to fight somebody differently with those type of things. It's more of a risk, reward, and gamble type of scenario wherever you want to put SPG on your games. I think my only frustration with overheat is that if I have SPG and I'm overheated, I can't use Rev Blow, because it ain't like Rev Blow is like that much. If somebody hits you, guard breaks you in overheat, or literally you can't do anything with it and overheat. You get combo, you just instantly lose SPG. It's probably really early for me to be saying this, but I currently that's the one part of the gameplay that I'm like, yeah, I understand why it is, but I prefer what other games are doing personally. That's just my take on that. Other than that, the gameplay of City of the Wolves is outstanding. It is some of the most fun I can play outside of some of the annoyances with the system mechanics. But this all leads to two things that they should have made sure they locked in before they dropped this beta. Let's talk about the training mode issue. You don't know, the training mode has been cracked on PC already. You can simply just cheese the training mode with like some type of mod or something like that and unlock the full training mode. Everybody's talking about it's been cracked. I'm not gonna tell you how to do it. I haven't did it, but no, I just seen it all on Twitter from like 4 different users. I used to argue against betas giving us the whole training mode because some games literally make their betas or demos glorified stress tests. The beta looks very similar to what the full package of the full game will be, and even then it's frustrating when your game has a lot of system mechanics and then the tutorial is god awful. The tutorial in this game really doesn't teach you most of the stuff. It just teaches you the general concepts. And even in the tutorial, when you're doing something or learning something for the first time, I don't think the game gives you the option to see a visual playback or visualizer of the said thing they want to be done. And even when they have an input reader in the game in the tutorial, the input reader itself in the bottom left, it's only showing you how to do it. And that's not the best way to teach people how to play a game. You can't just put like arrows and buttons. Everybody got different buttons and configuration, right? Even if it just shows what you have it set to anyway, that's just bad. I think they need to also put the demonstration in the thing as well. Have a way to show like your own inputs alongside of that also. The tutorial is a big reason why like I almost wrote this game off, because I was getting frustrated playing it because a lot of shit was happening and it wasn't fun. And another issue with the beta, which will probably go away by the time we get a new beta, is that literally everybody was playing Rock Howard, because in the training mode, the tutorial, there was ways to get around not having the actual training mode, but figuring stuff out. There's even a chart that says everybody was playing freaking Rock Howard because the only thing you can learn was from in his tutorial with him. Yeah, I think that tutorial mode is probably one of the worst I've seen in fighting games. Hopefully in the actually City of the Wolves, they will have a full-fledged mission mode that teaches you more than what they gave us there, because Next, I want to bring up the whole UI design and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, I think the UI design is pretty cool in the game. It doesn't do anything really crazy compared to the big 3 of fighting games. But if we're being honest, it's pretty straightforward and it gets you to where you need to get to really fast. I don't think the UI is something to really be mad about, to be honest with you. And even then, cool, it's whatever. To some people, it may seem cheap, lazy, or not as crazy, but if you play Garou, it's very inspired in this game as well. If anything, they did it one-to-one and maybe even better in a lot of aspects. What I don't like is navigating with the UI and stuff like that. When I first turned the game on and I was trying to play with some homies that don't play fighting games like that, it was hard to type the username code in and things of that nature, because I'm on a dual monitor setup. And sometimes I would click with my keyboard, it wouldn't show up, or I'll click with another button, it'll show up. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It felt like it was just very clunky and unresponsive. The netcode, I'm not gonna lie to y'all can get mad at me if I say this. This is some of the worst netcode I've experienced in fighting games in the last decade. I'm talking even pre-rollback. I've had games stop completely here. Like, I've had them in anime games. And literally, I'm talking to a lot of other people. I see it on Twitter. A lot of people like the netcode sucks as well. I'm not the only one experiencing this. If most of the time you're playing in lobbies with people, that is perfectly fine. That is how you should play fighting games. It is the way to play with friends. That's the best way to enjoy them anyway. However, some people don't got friends, unfortunately. And 2, I just sometimes just like turning the game on and finding an active player queue. I just want to play somebody, just turn it on without having to ask anybody for games and stuff like that. I don't think that's anything wrong with that. All in all, I'm criticizing this game because I know I have a lot of friends very excited for this game. and hearing some of my friends that have opposite reactions after playing it is not a good look. I strongly believe, even though I have a few little gripes with the gameplay for my taste, I believe this is probably going to be the best fighting game, not only to come out this year, or probably one of the best, at least from the 2D side of things, in a long time. My favorite SNK game is Samurai Showdown 2019, and that game wasn't even perfect, but it blew and grew to be something amazing for me. So I don't know, that being said, tell me y'all experience with the game. Have y'all been having a good time? My cat going off, he want me to give him some loving and stuff like that. So remember, you guys are golden, and that is raw. I'm out, peace.
Never felt like this. Yeah, 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 yeah. Maybe it's the death of me. To have my own worst enemy.
Alright, who's next?
Let's see who's stronger.